I have a slight problem. I talk way too much. Not because... You guys hear how good my voice sounds this morning?
Yeah.
Sounds really so good.
Let me try again. I have a slight problem. I talk way too much. Not because I'm insecure or socially awkward. I just hate the idea of silence in a conversation. I've noticed recently that it makes me seem stupid. As a young college student who considers herself intelligent, I have a lot of interesting things to say, but they come out sounding ridiculous when they are said after a long, long rant. What are some ways I can make my gift of gab more meaningful and intelligent? That's from Loquacious in the Lone Star State. I personally,
Justin loves a good, long, awkward silence.
I love to dip in there.
He just likes to soak in it like a hot tub.
He's one of those people that whenever there's even a brief silence in a conversation, he will address it and say like, "Oh, you know that it's a good friendship when you can just sit there and be silent and it still feels just so good."
I'll say that.
I said
like,
it was 1368, sir. Please pull up to the next window.
Just, I think that the way you can transmute your gift of gab into something that'll make you a hit with other people is instead of I know you're joking when you talk about having a lot of interesting things to say, and I'm sure you do, but if you can turn that gift of gab into asking questions, wanting to fill the conversation up with asking people about themselves, or filling any spare silence with a question about the other person, an invitation for them to talk about themselves, you will be more well liked, and people will want to spend more time with you. I was thinking yesterday about an old bit by Mitch Hedberg, dear departed Mitch Hedberg, and he said, I don't have attention deficit disorder, but I took Ritalin, and I found that I just had an extra long attention span. I would tell people, there's got to be more to that story. And if you can be that kind of listener, if you can use your gift of gab that way, then people are always... That is the ideal person to have in a conversation.
And like I know that I have dealt with this too. Like I tend to talk quite a bit. I know.
No.
And the important thing to keep in mind is that while you have many interesting things to say, so do the people that you are speaking with.
Oh, do they? For sure.
Do they really, though?
Well, I mean, if they've just finished a long, long rant and pause for a brief second, and you go, there's marsupials and they have pouches and they're like mammals, but then, maybe just let them finish their idea and then be like, man, that was great. And you said that it was actually your cousin the whole time? And make it about their story. Make it about what they've said.
The secret to human relations is that no one cares about what you are saying.
Yep.
With very rare examples, no one wants... Everyone's just waiting for their chance to treat you to the thing that happened to them. Because
unless someone's delivering instructions... Even then, it's like hit or miss. Back in the day, back before radio and TV, you had to rely on humans for your entertainment. You would say, you've got to come on, you raconteur, hit me up with a story to entertain me. Now, anytime that someone's talking is a time that you are not watching the X Factor. So, you don't need humans to entertain you anymore. Yeah. You need them to give you relevant, pertinent, important information. And you'll also see, this is one of my favorite phenomenon, you'll hit a word in your story and watch the person you're talking to, something click in their mind that reminds them of a story they know. And then it's literally like you're watching a fuse count down until you finish your thing. They stop
listening to the thing that you're saying as they just fucking cock it in the chamber. Wait for their chance, wait for the tactical precision strike to enter, yeah. Speaking of your dead brother, have you seen the curious the green man, Benny Green Man? What's the Benjamin Button but he's plants?
Timothy Button.
Timothy Button. You can always tell the when a person is doing this, because when you see when your story starts to divert from the point that they were going to tie to it, you can see them in physical anguish. It's like you're going around highway curves too fast or something.
What were you saying about tiny cars? You said something about tiny cars.
Do you remember 25 minutes ago when you were talking about that other thing? Have you seen that new Benjamin Green Man?
So if you can start use your gift to the gift really is asking questions is a lot harder than talking. I've found this as I've tried to ask more questions, because a lot of times questions can open you up to some pretty awkward interactions. Sometimes the answers are not something you want to get back. But so use your speaking talents to try to figure out questions to ask other people.
Also, another thing to keep in mind when it comes to conversations is there is not like you don't have this like basket full of topics and you need to get your entire basket empty before the end of the conversation. It's not supermarket sweep and reverse. And so like you may have a bunch of things to say, but if you have to pass by, some topics of conversation, it's gonna be all right.
The only reason I actually like talking to Travis is because I'm always hope he's gonna slip a dope metaphor in the combo.
Like supermarket sweep and reverse.
Supermarket sweep and reverse, yeah.